Hey guys, quick reminder before we jump into the video, there is still a chance to make one of my personal bikes yours for as little as $100. This is a 2020 Softail Standard, making 145 horsepower, $16,000 worth of upgrades done to this bike, and only 6,000 miles. Head to my personal Instagram at Blair_Snipes for all the details on that. Now let's jump into the video. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So I thought we would do something a little bit different today. We're gonna take, when I say we, I mean Cam, the master tech that's working on that bike behind me. We're gonna take this Road Glide from a 114 to a 135, and I'll show you that process. And a lot of people said, oh, I'm surprised you haven't done anything like that. So I wanna take a second to explain to you guys why. So 99% of the techs out there don't wanna do this. So all this is doing is slowing Cam down and getting in his way. So he's kind of doing us all a favor today by helping out with this video. So what we're gonna do is I'll show you guys the interesting parts of this. That's why I've waited till about this point to get things started. We've stripped the bike down, and again, when I say we, Cam and me sitting here talking to him about unrelated stuff. So he's gonna pull this one. We're gonna put this one in. Just over an hour into this, Cam's got the engine completely out and free, and pulling this one out of the crate. So for those wondering, this was what, eight grand? Yeah, so $8 for this motor that you see, and this is not all that's gonna happen. So we have a table full of stuff. We're gonna be doing some swapping on, so I'll show you guys that process as well. But I just wanted to show you, this is what it looks like at a dealership when you get your engine swapped. I mean, this is an hour. This is you and your buddy in your shop a good Saturday and Sunday, most likely, to get to this point. And I can already hear the comments now, well, why do they charge so many hours if you're showing right now that it only took an hour to get it out? Well, obviously this is not the first time that Cam has done that, and that's why I said this is probably going to take you and your buddy in your garage 2 days just to get to this point, because you're paying for the experience and the knowledge. And I said in a previous video, you know, I didn't do my motor. Cam, the guy that's doing this work, is the guy that did all my stuff. And yeah, I did want to do it myself, but for time reasons, I mean, it made sense to let him do it. I knew I wasn't gonna have to worry about anything. Did I do something wrong, you know, something not right? Plus, I was probably gonna have to bug him anyway to ask him a whole bunch of questions. So I personally, you know, someone who's got good connections with Harley Davidson, with this dealership, also paid to have my motor done.
Wrap it up from this side, you wouldn't have the crank stabbing you. Or you could just, yeah.
Remember, lift with your back, not your legs.
That's right.
You don't want to blow a hamstring.
Nah, it shouldn't hurt it. Okay, we need to swing the front towards you a little bit. Okay.
Be sure to lift with your back so you can collect some money.
No, yeah, that was the plan. Yes, they do come all year round.
Alright, so we're going to be running the S&S tappet cuffs with a high lift cam like this. As you see, I got lifters down on top of the cam lobes themselves. When you go to spin it over, they're getting stuck and you can't get full rotation out. Yes, you can force it, but as you can see, you are potentially moving parts that are not meant to be moved. So to get past with a high lift cam, what you want to do is the tappet covers that you can actually adjust and get the right clearance for your lifters. Well, you don't want, so because this thing can move, it's got play.
Yep.
So you don't want this to be like this because then it's going to be rubbing here, eating material. So you got to find the middle of both of them.
Right, right. So basically,
But
as long
have
as you
pulled
use
them
your
out.
feeler
If you use your
gauges.
feeler gauge, like I'll pull these out again after doing a build, and there's little to no wear on the guides.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Gasket's in. Gasket's in. Small goes on top.
Yeah.
Well, the boat's not on.
I got. You got motor?
Yeah.
All right, so it's day 2. Cam got the bike completely put back together last night, did some heat cycles on it, so now we're gonna throw it on the dyno and see what kind of numbers this thing makes. I know I'm gonna get this question a lot, so I'll go ahead and show you guys the exhaust. This is a Bassani head pipe with the chrome work slip-ons on the back. Exhaust makes a big difference in what kind of numbers your bike makes. All right, so the plan is to do a few auto-tune sessions, just kind of get the ball rolling, and then we'll really start dyno tuning this thing. All right, so I have a confession to make. I was pretty skeptical of that exhaust setup, and it proved me wrong, which is the exact reason why you should be putting your bike on a dyno to see, not listening to the internet about what makes the most power. Because if you would have asked me, I would have said, no, probably don't do that exhaust setup. Do a real nice 2-into-1, a long pipe, and I mean, maybe that would make more power, but this one was really, really surprising. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. If you guys are interested in getting any work done, be sure and hit up Tim's Harley Davidson in Anderson, South Carolina. If you're local, obviously they'll get you taken care of. And now the moment I know a lot of you have been waiting for. What does it cost to do an engine build like this? So we'll start with the engine. Per Harley Davidson's website, that crate engine is gonna run you $8 grand. Yes, we did juice this thing up a little bit. We took some of the Harley Davidson components out and put in some Star Racing stuff. We used their billet ramp compensator, we used their 640 springs, and we used the 3/4 race cam. Actually, all the same stuff that I've done on this 128 build. And this is not an endorsement for Star. Tim's Harley Davidson doesn't get anything from Star Racing. I don't get anything from Star Racing. I just did my own research, and they seem to be one of the better companies out there to go with, so that's what I did. You're gonna have a bunch of miscellaneous stuff. Obviously, you're gonna need to put oil in there. There's gonna be the gasket that goes between the engine and the transmission. There's gonna be all kind of miscellaneous things. So I'd say to account for $200 to $300 roughly for just all the miscellaneous stuff that you don't think of. And then as far as labor, I want to say something like this usually bills out at about 22 hours, again, depending on what you're doing. Like I said, we did go into this motor. It wasn't just a straight engine swap. Then you have to take into consideration this customer already had the exhaust. They ended up buying a different air cleaner than the one that they were running on their 114. So there's a lot of variables that go into this, but that kind of gives you guys a ballpark idea of what to expect to pay for something like this. If you're interested in having this done and you're in the area, I do highly recommend you call Tim's Harley Davidson. Talk to the guys down there. As I said, Cam is the guy that did my bike. He's also the guy that did the bike in the video that you just watched. So again, if you're local or it makes sense to go to Tim's, there's a lot of great dealerships out there. That's just the one that's local to me. That's the one I work with. So that's the only one I'd be willing to put my name on. That's gonna be it for this one, guys. Please subscribe if you're not already. I'm really trying to hit 50,000 subs by the end of the year. At the time of this video going up, I'm just a little over 40,000, so still a long way to go, but I think it's doable. Like the video if you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.